Hi everybody, Miss Rachie here to share another story with you. And this one is called Max and Ruby and the Babysitting Squad. I loved reading this story and I'm so excited to share it with you because it's about our favorite sibling duo and their adventures for the first time babysitting. I really hope you enjoy this story. Max and Ruby and the Babysitting Squad. Max's sister, Ruby, made a big sign where everyone in town could see it. Going out? Call the babysitting squad. Louise and Ruby will take charge. We are professional and bonded. We entertain. We safeguard. Call 555-6568. Isn't that a cool sign that they made? Max wanted to babysit too. No, Max, said Ruby. You're not professional. No way are you bonded, Max, said Louise. That night, the telephone rang. Hello, said Ruby. It was Louise. We have our first job, said Louise. Mrs. Warddropper has a beauty appointment tomorrow at 9. She wants us to take care of Percy. Next morning, Louise came early. Ruby and Louise sped to number 12 Hickory Lane. Max brought his earth mover equipment along. You have to play with those in the backyard, Max, said Ruby. Ding dong, went the Warddropper's doorbell. Percy opened the door in a skunk costume. Hi, said Ruby and Louise. We're the babysitting squad. Goodbye, said Percy. Say hello to Louise and Ruby, Percy, said Mrs. Warddropper. I have skunk stink in my outer space squirter, said Percy. Mrs. Warddropper gave Ruby and Louise the hairdresser's number in case of emergencies. Then she was out the door. We brought lots of games, said Ruby to Percy. How about dominoes? Asked Louise. Or let's build a castle, suggested Louise. Percy said, Skunks don't play games. Then without another word, Percy vanished. Ruby and Louise looked for Percy behind the shades and in the cupboards. Was Percy hiding under the bed or behind the castle? Okay, friends, do you see him anywhere? I think he's headed up the stairs. So sneaky. They even looked for Percy in the shower. Where is he? Asked Louise. Oh no, losing the baby on our first babysitting job, said Ruby. Here comes the skunk stink, said a voice from a heating vent. It was Percy. A cloud of Vitamint mouthwash filled the air. He must be in the attic, said Ruby. Look out! I'm preparing spider juice vapor, said Percy. Percy, come down for chutes and ladders, said Louise. We can play the xylophone, suggested Ruby. Louise served up graham crackers with grape jelly. How about setting up the cowboy village, Percy, said Louise. Out of the heating vent puffed a cloud of Heavenly Man aftershave. Suddenly, from outdoors came a noise of rock crushing and electric zinging. Max's saw-toothed dirt bucketeer and his rock crusher were clanging and banging around the backyard. Percy stood at an attic window, looking down below at the backyard. He saw it all. Want it, Percy yelled. Percy wanted to know how to work the rock crusher. Don't push the red button, said Ruby. But Percy did push the red button. It went into the sling and fling gear. Mrs. Warddropper came home. "Oh no," said Mrs. Warddropper. "I can't tell who is who." Max had an idea. Max turned on the sprinklers so that Mrs. Warddropper would feel better. I think they also loved the sprinkler. The end. Hi friends, that was so fun to read that story together. I wonder if you were surprised, like I was, about how good of a babysitter Max was. Anyways, I hope that you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe so that we can continue reading lots of stories together. We'll see you next time.